done anything. That's not because I can't be bothered or I don't want to. It's more of the fact that today I wanted to spend the day cleaning the house, because yes, we cleaned the house and we sorted through the cupboard and we got it all nice and neat. However, this last week we haven't stuck on top of it. The house has gone a bit messy again, but then that happens with everyone. And at this moment in time, we're all kind of a bit like, well, we're not going back to work anytime soon, so there's no need to tidy right now because we have God knows how long to tidy. But now there's a chance that we might be coming out of this, or we might be going back to work. I thought I would spend like today and the weekend, obviously, tidying if I don't get it all done today, because I highly doubt I'm going to get it all done today. But you never know, if I work quick enough, I might get it done. But I thought I'd start in the spare room first, because this is the room where me and Nicola like to do our hair and our makeup. However, because she had to bring her work stuff home, she used the spare room as her desk. So all of our makeup and that, where it was put on this desk, and like our mirrors, that all had to be moved. We were trying to figure out what we were going to keep in the spare room, like what of ours was actually in the spare room. And I sort of sorted it out the other day. But where I had gotten halfway through it and went, oh, it's lunchtime, me and Nicola need to go and have some lunch, I kind of forgot what I was doing and I got distracted, and then I went in the garden because it was a nice day. So I thought today I'm going to try and just tidy. And I think me and Nicola talked about doing a game later. So we got given a game. Well, Celine bought us this game that Annabelle has, so we could try and play it together, and we did, and it worked really well. But me and Nicola quite enjoyed this game, and it's, I want to say it's 221B Baker Street or something like that. It's pretty much Sherlock Holmes game. You've got to try and solve it. You go around the board finding clues, and then you've got to try and figure out whatever the questions they give you. So who it is, who done it, where is it, or what was they killed with, who stole the bones, or something like that. And we thought it might be a good idea to do that later, and maybe say like, oh, grab a pen and pencil, like grab pen, pencil, paper, whatever, and like we'll show you what the card says and you can pause it so you can see what the game's like. And we thought we could try and do it together and you could kind of try and work it out with us, but we're not really sure if it's going to work very well, because obviously me and Nicola like talk about what we're going to do, how we're going to do things, and like we go, oh, that'd be wicked, and then it turns out like my morning video of me walking down the stairs and not walking down the stairs very well. But yeah, so I'm going to stop rambling now. I'm going to start tidying. See, I even got halfway through making the bed. So I think I'm going to start with making the bed first, putting the towels away into the section where they go, putting all the teddies back up onto here, and then going through all of this stuff on the floor. Like, we've got a lot of boxes, and boxes go downstairs in the upstairs cupboard. There is a cupboard under that where all the boxes go. So I'm going to take all these boxes that are in here, move them downstairs, see if anyone wants to keep their boxes or if they want to throw them away. And then I'm going to move all the stuff that's in here that doesn't need to be in here out of here, and like put all the wires back away, because like my straighteners and my curlers are out, but they go back in the cupboard, but I can't get to, well, to the drawer, but I can't get to the drawer because the big teddies are in the way. So let's start with the bed.
masala.
So, for dinner tonight we are having a Chinese chicken curry. For that we are going to need some chicken, some onion, some potato, some chicken stock, peppers, some garlic. We also have some black garlic in there because we thought we'd give that a try. We've got some butternut squash, some soy sauce, tomato puree. I can't remember what that one was, James.
Garam masala and tikka masala powder.
Okay, and we've got some mange too as well. So we will get started with that. So we're going to put our chicken stock in a pan and turn the heat on, and then we're going to add onion. Yep. Garlic. I can't.
No. So we'll scrape them all in a minute.
We'll scrape them in a minute. Yep.
And that's it.
And that's it for now.
I thought we put the spices in, but oh no, we do put the spices in.
And the spices. Anything else?
No, that
tomato puree, anything like that?
Tomato puree.
Tomato puree. That one came out quite nicely.
Okay, that is it.
That is it. Nicola, do you want to do a little scrapey? Scrape.
And then we're going to let that... Oh wait, don't we put the potatoes in? And the butternut squash?
My goodness, James isn't very good at the recipe part.
Now that our spices are mixed in, we're going to add our butternut squash as well. Try. And the potato.
And then we'll simmer for 20 minutes. Once it's to the boil. And then we'll simmer it.
Okay. Now that the sauce is boiling, we're going to chuck the lid on and let it simmer for 20 minutes. So while the sauce is simmering, James is going to cook the chicken. Once it's cooked, we will put it to the side whilst we wait for the sauce.
Right, so we have finished cooking the meat. You moved it away.
Sorry.
We have finished cooking the meat. We've put it to the side, and now we're going to add our mange too and our peppers with a splash of water.
And our onion.
And our other onion that was chopped differently into it. And we're going to stir fry that for a little bit.
Yeah.
So we have put some rice on, ready for when this is finished. The timer has gone off for this one, and James is now going to mash it, or Nicola's going to mash it. Are you mashing it?
I'll mash it.
James is the masher. So James is going to mash it now. I think that's it at the moment. Right, so James has finished mashing it. You are meant to have like a blitzer, and you should blitz it, but we don't have one, so we thought we would try and mash it. Okay, it's going straight ahead without me finishing the sentence.
That's alright.
So now we're going to mix the sauce with the vegetables and the chicken.
Yeah, and the soy.
And the soy sauce. So this is dinner tonight, all finished, looking very lovely. Very nice, very nice. Well done, James.
Thank you.
Right, so we thought it would be a cool idea to play our Sherlock Holmes Master Detective game. We thought we could try and make this interactive. We don't know how well this is going to work, but we'll go from there. So pretty much what it is this is the board here. I'll take a photo and put it in now. This is the board, so you make your way around it, and you've got to get into the different places to find clues about whatever the case is. So we thought if you were to grab a pen or a pencil and paper, you could try and solve it with us, see if you got the same answers we did or the same conclusions, because when we've done it before, not recently, But when we've done it before, we've been like quite on the ball. We've kind of gone, do you know what? Then we think this is it, and we say it from the start, and we normally get it right, and we've got like that one word that's missing.
Yeah, but
like,
it still counts.
Yeah, it still counts. We still count it if we get the right person, but we don't get the right motive, or we have something that's along the lines of the motive. We say we get it, that we've got that, and it's a win, even though it probably says in the instructions it's not a win.
If it's close, it counts. If it's completely off, it doesn't count.
No. So when you start playing the game, there is a card which I'll put up now. I suggest you pause it and read it if you want to. But it's like pause it, read it, take any notes you think you want to, or you can take a photo of it if you want to, and like have it on your phone or whatever. And then on the back of the card, which you don't really need to know, is it says all the places that are in here and a number for you to look in the book. And it will tell you whether there is a clue, what part of a clue it is. It could just be like a random bit of nonsense. But it normally turns out that it's not a bit of nonsense, but we just think it's a bit of nonsense. But yeah, so I thought, why not give it a go? Would you like to roll first? Oh wait, hang a minute, we haven't read it. Let's read it.
Let's know what we're doing.
Right. I'll put it up now while I'm reading it, so you can read it if you want to with us or whatever. Lovely.
That's nice.
I feel like you might be able to hear our washing machine and dishwasher in the background. I'm very sorry about that if you can hear that.
Yeah.
Mrs. Scottle suspects foul play, and she wants Holmes to find out A. Oh, hang a minute, Nicola's writing. A. Who killed her husband, and B. The motive. So we're going to roll, and we'll fast forward us rolling until we get to somewhere. That is well now. Why did I decide to do washing now? Oh well.
Hey ho. Right.
Right, so the first clue in the park is a motive clue, and there are 4 parts of that. This is the first. Oh no, there's 2 parts. No, hang a minute, I'm reading the wrong thing. There's 4 parts. Yes,
Yeah.
There is 4 parts. We have the third part, which is true or blank, and it has 4 letter marks. And then number 4, part 4, is discs played on a gramophone. Is that not a record?
True or something, some sort of gramophone. Could be.
Okay, right. So our next clue is the next part of the motive clue, which is first part, abbreviated century and over. It's wobbling because Nicola's writing, sorry. It's okay though. And the second part is the opposite of down, so up. Although there was the smell of beer on Scottle's lips, a coroner's report showed no alcohol in his bloodstream.
So he hasn't been drinking.
So he hasn't been drinking. So that's his one clue. This is a killer clue, and there are 3 parts to that. And this is the first part. Blank, well, that ends well. So that's all's well, that ends well. So it's all's. Yeah. Killer clues. We have part 2, which is expressions used in golf to warn someone of an oncoming ball. Is that score? Is that when they go score?
I don't know what I did.
This is the issue we have sometimes. We don't really.
Because I don't know about golf.
I don't know golf. I don't do golf. And we have the third part,
Now the first one. Try that thing.
which is blank in crime. I would say partner in crime.
That's what I just said.
So I would say that's partner. So all's
Partner.
score
Or
partner.
something partner.
Hang on a minute. stopped recording because our washing machine got really loud and I didn't know if you would be able to hear us if we carried on talking, because it was just at the end, it like had 8 minutes left to spare, like left to do, and it was when it was spinning really fast, so all you could hear was and that's all we could hear. So I didn't know whether you would be able to hear that, and if you did, I am very sorry and I will try my hardest to sort that out. So we thought we'd just wait for that to finish because it only had 8 minutes and we would carry on. But while we were waiting for the 8 minutes, we sat here and we were like, okay, let's try and think out the killer part because we've got all of it. So we knew that from the first clue, it was blank well that ends well. So we know that that's all's well that ends well. So we knew that the first word was all. Then it came to the second part of the clue, and it was an expression used in golf for an oncoming ball. And all I could think of was score, score, score. And I'm saying to Nicola, it just doesn't sound right, because we then looked at the third clue and it was blank in crime, and our first initial thought for that was partners in crime. So then we had all, something that sounded like score and partners. So we had a look back at our sheet and had a look at the names, thinking, does any of these sound like the names? What could it be? And then Nicola or someone went, 4! It's 4! They don't shout score, they shout 4! So then we realised that we've realised the killer without being on camera, which is very annoying. That we have realised that this is what we think it is for the killer, but it's all 4 partners. If you've got something different from that, keep it. But yeah, we then just took our turns to get us to the next kind of place, because we were like, we've got 8 minutes spare. We've unfortunately figured out the killer, which we think is right, without the camera being on. So we thought, well, why don't we just get ourselves to the next place and we'll stop, and then when the dishwasher's finished we'll carry on recording. So now we're at the Boar's Head. Nicola is trying her hardest to reply to as many people as she can because everyone is messaging her. So I thought I would babble for a little bit while she messaged everyone. Let's just skip straight past it. The next clue is, you ready? Ready. Thomas Jones and George Netta were seen drinking at the Boar's Head on Saturday afternoon.
They were drinking what?
At the Boar's Head. Whilst mopping the bank floor last Saturday, cleaner Sam Willis says he heard a noise like a firecracker which seemed to come from the architect's office next door. Right. William Scottle, basically an honest man, had for some time been bothered by strong pangs of guilt. George Netta had a new house key made on Monday, so that tells you that George left his key there. Scottle's firm had been falsifying records to conceal the company's continuing worsening financial situation. So maybe, so he was feeling guilty about that. Right.
Abbreviated century and over. Well, century abbreviated, is that literally just C, or is it CEN? If it's C, that would be cover. So it would be cover, opposite, cover up, false, records.
High five. We're good. I reckon we've done it.
I'll write it down and then we can keep going.
We like to, even though we kind of go, oh look, we've gotten all the clues. We haven't got all the clues, but we think we've got it all. We like to still go to the others just in case. A woman who lives above the newspaper shop says she saw 3 or 4 men get out of a private carriage in the back alley last Saturday afternoon. Right, the next clue is J.S. Subcow takes a little yellow pills regularly for a liver condition. So that gives him puts him at the place of the crime.
Yeah.
So that is 2 that are physically at the place of the crime at the moment. Arthur Kendrick smokes Turkish cigars. So in theory, once we get to the pawnbroker, wibble wobble wibble wobble jelly on a plate. Once we get to the pawnbroker, we should have the part for the other guy.
Hopefully it says something about him that links
about him being there.
Because then we've got a definite.
The carpet in Thomas Jones' office contains 2 freshly cleaned spots. One of them has a slight smell of beer. Oh.
Yeah.
We're going to put it out there and then we're going to read it. We're saying it was all 4 of the partners.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are saying that it's to cover up the false records.
Yeah.
Because obviously the guy was feeling guilty about it, so he might have been like, I'm going to go to the police.
Yeah. And the others didn't want that to happen.
So they took care of it.
Oh, fake. I think that's fake. I think that's what that is. Doesn't make a difference. Just because that only had 4 lines last time.
Right, what one are we on? 9.
Number 9.
Oh yes. The partners of Netta Kendrick, Subcow, Scottle and Jones Ltd have been falsifying records to conceal the company's precarious financial situation. God, why is it with all these big words?
It's a smart game.
William Scottle decided this was not going to help the firm in the end, and he tried to convince his partners to come clean and accept the consequences. When it became evident that Scottle was going to expose their fraud, Scottle's 4 partners formulated a plan to kill him and make it look like suicide.
Mm-hmm.
At their Saturday gathering, Scottle's partners forced him to write a suicide note, shot him in Thomas Jones' office, poured beer on his mouth to make it appear he had been drinking, and moved his body by carriage to the alley behind the newsagents. So, the killer was all 4 partners, and the motive to cover up false records.
Yes.
High five! So hopefully if you were joining in, you got the same results as us. If you didn't, don't know why. I'm joking. I mean, I'm not trying to like say anything horrible about myself, but I'm not the smartest of people. See?
There's the point.
There's the point. I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed. Maybe we'll do this again next week. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll try a different game or something. I don't know.
But
I don't know what we'll do. But this was quite fun. We do like this one, and we might play some more now we finish recording. But yeah.